Alright, so with this video we should finally be able to wrap up 2023 for once and for all, even though we're a couple weeks behind on this, but it took that long to get everything caught back up. So this is our 2023 rewind, as is customary around here. I'll try to keep this part brief. Obviously we've talked about the growing season in the last video, so don't really have to talk about that much, but we can talk about some other things that we had going on. Obviously that the big thing last winter was, well, I guess the big thing last winter actually would have been about this time last winter. We were pretty far into the whole working on the barn down here project, which we'll be doing some stuff upstairs here hopefully here in the next couple weeks. That was obviously the big thing last winter, and then early last spring we had the trip out to Iowa to talk with all the Oliver employees. Hopefully we can do something again here this winter. Actually here at some point, I probably should do it this week. I need to give Al a call and so we can see how he's doing and see if we can get a ball rolling on that. So that was really cool. Had a good time with that. That turned out really well. I was nervous about how that was going to go, but had a really good time and got to meet a lot of cool people. And hopefully, if we can do it again, a lot of them will show back up, because there's a lot of them I'd like to see again, because they were a bunch of really cool old guys. So there was that. What else do we have going on? The other cool thing that happened that I never figured would ever happen to me, and it probably wasn't too long after that, I got an email that scared the crap out of me at first, because it was just titled Music, and from a name I didn't recognize, and I was like, and it had just happened. It might have been later in the spring. It was later. I think it happened during planning was when this went down. But anyway, had got the email, and it was right after I had put up a video. I'm like, oh shit, somebody's gonna sue me for something. Even though in YouTube land, if you put up a video and you use copyrighted music, you're generally good, as long as you don't monetize, which YouTube won't let you monetize a video with copyrighted music anyhow. So any video that I put up that has music in it is not monetized. So if there are commercials playing in it, I'm not making any money off of it. All that money's going to the owner or the person that has the rights to the song. So it's not like I'm breaking any laws by it, because I'm not making any money off of it. But I'm like, crap, somebody's gonna try to sue. Somebody's gonna think they're gonna try to sue me for this or something. Then I got to read an email. And it was actually the bass player for the Steel Woods, which is the band that has the song in that last video I did of Shell and Corn. It was right after I'd put up, I think it was right after I put up the video of Soil Finishing, and I used the song, The Rock That Bears My Name, which is their song. And turns out he had actually been watching the channel a long time before that, because he's actually a farm boy from Wisconsin, if I remember right, and his family has a small operation, but their main thing is they raise Clydesdales, and they run IH stuff, and mostly for making hay. But he had been watching me before that point, and I started using some of their songs, and he thought that was cool, so he reached out just to say hey and tell me who he was. And we've been emailing back and forth every once in a while just to shoot the shit, but that was kind of neat, because that's like it's an actual like legit, like I'd call them a big deal, because they have they've toured with a lot of higher what's the word I'm looking for, higher end, like more well-known artists. I mean they're pretty big deal. This like half of this year they're actually touring in Europe. But they actually, he wanted me, they had a show December 6th. It was December 6th or December, they had two shows that he wanted me to try to make it to. One was in Grand Rapids, and the other one was in Fort Wayne, and one was on December 6th, and one was on December 7th. Either way, I really wanted to try to make it to the one in Fort Wayne, because from here it's actually easier to get to Fort Wayne than it is to get to Grand Rapids. But I never in a million years, when he invited me to come to one of them shows, I jokingly said, as long as I'm still not shelling corn in December. Little did I know when I said that I would actually still be shelling corn in December. So it didn't work out that I could make it, but we're still going to try to meet up here at some point. I'd really like to make it to one of their concerts, because I've only actually ever been to one concert in my life, and it was actually a Brantley Gilbert concert. But their shows kind of tend to be, their ones that they headline tend to be a little smaller. Like the one in Fort Wayne, they were working a bar. But I feel like a show that size would be a lot more fun to go to, and especially when afterwards you can go drink with the band because you know one of the members. So that was really neat. I never figured that would happen. And if you haven't listened to their stuff, obviously if you've seen any of my videos, I haven't even listened to some of their stuff, but I have yet to find a song that they have put out that I didn't like. They all tend to be a little longer songs, which actually makes it nicer for me, because it's easier when you got more song to work with to use them in a video. And they're all, I classify them as like southern rock, outlaw country-ish. They're not really country, they're not really rock, they got blues in there. They are incredibly good, and they got something that probably fit damn near everybody's taste. And the instrumentation, the vocals, they write all their own songs. I want to call them like a modern Lynyrd Skynyrd, but I'd say that's a pretty good comparison. They're kind of like a modern Lynyrd Skynyrd with a little bit more blues, and they're really good. It's hard to describe their music because it's hard to shoehorn them into a specific genre, but they're really good. If you check them out, they're awesome. So that was really neat. Like I say, I never expected something like that to happen to me. So hopefully, eventually, I could actually meet up with them guys in person, because that would be awesome. So that was another cool thing to happen this year. Obviously, we got through the growing season this summer, did some tractor pulling. We had Rantoul in there. That was a good time. That was probably the most fun I've had to date at a show, mostly because of all the people. I bet I talked to more people at this show than I probably talked to in the last shows combined. It was a really good time. Both people that watch the channel and just random people that you'd get to striking up a conversation with, just standing in the field watching stuff happen. So if I got to talk to you down there, like I say, I really enjoyed meeting everybody. And while we're on the subject of Rantoul, I know that we're actually less than 2 years away from the next Rantoul. So we can start the countdown. While we're on that subject, I'm just going to put this on everybody's radar. And I wish I would have thought of it at this last show, because it would have been cool to do. But by the next show, we'll probably have more subscribers and be a little bit more organized about it yet. But next Rantoul, obviously going to do a meet and greet again, because that's a good time. If you watch the channel and you bring a piece of equipment down there, if possible, I'd like everybody that takes a piece of equipment down there to bring it when we do the meet and greet, because I'd like to get everybody's equipment together in a bunch and get a big group photo with everybody that brought equipment, and then just everybody that showed up to the meet and greet in front of them. I think that would make a really cool picture, kind of to show how the channel's grown throughout the years. So, like I say, I wanted to put that on everybody's radar so that they know that's kind of what I'm thinking for the next Rantoul, and it'll obviously be more. We'll have more time to talk about it later, but that's something I would like to happen. I think it'd be cool. So, but like I say, we had Rantoul. That was a good time. And we went from that to servicing equipment to starting into the shit show of the harvest we had. I think that pretty much highlights all the major bullet points for the year. Not outside of field work. Picked up a few more acres of ground this year. Made our first crop of hay. Got more hay planted. So put all the hay equipment through its paces. Made sure that all worked out good. Made several equipment upgrades. That cutter bar on the 7300, that worked great. I'm really happy with how that turned out. Obviously the tracks on the 8700, that worked great. I'm happy with how that turned out. The only complaint that we had about that was the mover, and that can get sorted out at a later date. Still have the old mover. It's back here in the implement row. Figured it was best to not cut that up and scrap it until we had a new one planned and in the works. That way it didn't get caught with our pants down without a way to move the combine if we needed it. But hopefully we never have to use that thing again. Would be ideal. So obviously spent a crap ton of money on new tires this year between the 4150, my grain truck, my pickup, several implement tires. I know the crimper got tires. The mower did not get tires. What should I put new baby tires? Oh, that little cart there I bought tires for. What else? Oh, obviously that the dealer sign there, that was, I never in a million years figured that I would have the opportunity to, I never figured I would own a dealer sign, let alone a dealer sign from a dealer that I grew up around and that I have equipment from. I got the 7300 has dealer stickers on it from HFS. My 40378 row crop cultivator has HFS dealer stickers on it. That might be it. Because the 1800 came from Wiggins over in Niles. I know Morley, where I was working on the 8700, they still got a bunch of stuff from HFS because that's who his grandpa dealt with almost exclusively. He bought some stuff out of LaPorte, he bought some stuff out of Wiggins, but most of what he did was out of HFS. But anyway, like I say, I never figured in a million years, and technically I own two, because the big white, Agco white lit up bubble sign came from there too, but it doesn't say HFS on it. That one's actually got the dealer, the phone number, the whole 9 yards. That's the only thing that would be better is if I could ever get a sign from the dealership here in the town I grew up in, and I know where there's two of them at. One of them's still here in town at another collector, and they'll never let go of it. And of all stupid places, a buddy I went to college with found one hanging up in a guy's barn down in Newton County, Indiana. How it made it all the way down there, I don't know, but the guy collects tractors and he collects dealer signs, and he's got a whole, the inside of his barn is lined with dealer signs, and there is a dealer sign off the front of the dealer down here in town, down there in Newton County, Indiana. So I told him if the guy ever has an auction, let me know, because I really like to have that sign. But anyway, we're getting off topic here. So anyhow, I think that covers everything that we needed to talk about as far as this year goes. So without further ado, here is your 2023 recap.
I get here early and I go home late. when it seems that nothing else could go wrong. That's when I'm reminded that we're not alone. There's a devil in this holler, there's evil in these hills. I'm just trying to make $1, 'cause I got to pay my bills. It might be gold on this mountain, but there's fire on the ground. Yeah, there's a devil in this holler, but he ain't gonna pull me down. Well, I throw my hand up when I'm driving in, speak to the ones that ask me how I've been. By the time that I leave, I'm tired and in pain. I put the pedal to the floor on my way home to beat the train.